I'm so excited to be talking to you guys today. We're going to be going through everything I made in 2024. And I think it's important for me to sit down and to talk to you guys about this because sometimes it can feel like you forget how far you've come. I think you can forget how much work went into like your year. And this is coming from a pattern designer, but also there are plenty of you out there who are sewing on a consistent basis. And I think it's a little bit surprising to pull it all together and be like, oh, look at how much I made. And so, not that it's like a competition, the numbers don't matter. In fact, like I sew a lot more than the average person, I would think, because I do this for my job. And so it's more just me sharing a bit of the process, sharing a little bit more about what I made, why I made it, how I feel about it, because now I've been wearing it for a long time. And so I'm really excited to show you guys today all of this stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start with, this is my Beth blouse. Now this pattern has not come out. None of this is in particular order, by the way, and I'm just starting with blouses. So this is my Beth blouse. This just came out of the washing machine and kind of dried this way. I need to iron and steam it up a bit, but this is a linen cotton blend from the Linen Lab, and it has these ruffles right here. The pattern this is my next pattern, but it will have a ruffle option down the front placket, and then it has this really pretty cuff detail with the optional ruffle right here. I specifically designed this sleeve to have the option of using lace right here, and if you want it in the placket. My original sample that I made a couple years ago had the lace here and it had the lace in the placket, but because I did shirring on the sleeves, you couldn't get that lace detail. So I specifically changed the pattern for that recently and I love it. So like I said, this fabric is from the Linen Lab. I will link it below because I do have a link for this. I love all of their stuff. Some of these will be affiliate links, but I will tell you exactly how I feel about it. I saw a lot of people do this with one of my patterns, the Ginkgo Pinafore, and I felt like it was just a little too stiff for that. Like the Ginkgo, I felt like needed a little bit more softness. And so they do have a 100% linen version that if you're looking for that, it's a little heavier than this. I would get that. But if you're looking for something really crisp and thin and lightweight, the cotton is perfect for the blouse. Very, very perfect for the blouse. And I think the linen would be better for more like a dress and possibly pants. I haven't tested that one though, but I love that. The back has the same scoop detail and it's kind of a boxier, dartless design because I hate darts. Am I allowed to say that? I don't like darts. I don't like sewing them. I don't like how they look. So, and I also don't like tight things. So I kind of always add, not always, but I try to do either boxy or A-line or just beautiful grays over your midsection designs. So that is the Beth blouse. And this is the short sleeve version that I sewed up this last year. And I also love this one. So this is the short sleeve and it has that ruffle down the front. Now, I love this blouse, but I have found that I'm not wearing it as much as I would like because the fabric that I chose is also from the Linen Lab, but it is linen and a teeny bit of nylon, and it's more of like a midweight. And I should have either made it as a long sleeve midweight or just left it as pants because it just feels a bit heavy, whereas my other Beth blouse, that one and my original, were really lightweight. And I just think it complements the pattern better to go with a lightweight. So still good to try now that I know. So I know a little bit better of what I can recommend for the pattern, but I've just found that I feel like it kind of droops, it sags, it just doesn't quite hold the shape that I'm wanting. But this fabric is gorgeous. Fabric is stunning. I wish I'd saved it for pants. Okay, next. So this one was one of the first ones I made last year. This was a pattern design that I was working on. And I tried a different sleeve option, the ties. I ran out of this fabric, so I ended up color blocking it. I don't know how I feel about this. In fact, I don't wear it almost at all. This was like the third attempt on this pattern design, and since then, another pattern designer has released a very similar pattern. So even before that, I was like, I'm not working on this anymore. 3-4 times in, and it just like wasn't getting the vibe I wanted. This fabric I bought from a quilt shop. I can't remember the name, in Fredericksburg, Texas, like a few years ago. but it's really pretty. It kind of reminds me of Fabulism fabrics where it's like all woven in. I can kind of show you. Those little ticks are different woven threads, and then this was also just like a thrifted fabric. So mix of, I just didn't love the color blocking, but I was just trying to use fabric I had, and the sleeves just weren't doing it for me. The other sleeves I had no gathers at the top and just straight. Great blouse, but I just don't find myself wearing them as much as I would like. So can't link that. Okay, so this was my first Madeline tee sample. I guess toile, because I changed quite a bit for the final pattern. It had a much thicker neckband originally, so it's like a mock neck, and I think I added a little bit of length and changed the shoulders a little bit. Still really like this t-shirt. It's like a cotton poly blend that my mom had in her like stash, and she let me use, and so it doesn't wrinkle, which is nice because of the poly, but I don't really love wearing poly. It makes me super sweaty, and this is more of a summer thing for me. So I don't find myself wearing it as much. It's also, you can actually see the color pretty good. It's like a purplish blue. So I wish it was more of like a navy and less of a violet color, but I still like this blouse. I did some fun like detailing right here. And I did some really cute stitches on the hem, which I absolutely love. I love that seashell hem because this is such a boxy fit. You really don't need a stretch stitch on the sleeves or the hem, and so I kind of like having fun with that. I love it, but I don't love the color. So anyway, that's the thing about this one, but I do still wear it. Yeah, but I wish that the color was just slightly off. But this was my first toile, and I love that I can still wear my toiles because I always make wearable toiles. I don't buy muslin. Okay, so this was the updated version. You can see the neck is much bigger, has much thinnerness It's much thinner up here, so it's not quite as high. I love this one. This was also from her stash. I have no idea what it's made of. I think it's a cotton poly as well, but much less poly because it's a lot softer and it doesn't make me sweat as much. So I love that. This is my favorite color, and so I love wearing this one. I did another decorative stitch here. It's more of like a leaf stitch, and I did that on the hem. Oh, there's something on there. Like I said, I tried to wash everything, but anyway, I love this tee. It's the most basic t-shirt ever. I love this pattern. I love this fabric. This one for me is like a 10 out of 10. Okay, I don't know if this one counts, but I'm gonna count it. So I had this one cut out in 2022 when I was developing the Raida Blouse. And this is a cotton lawn from Joann's. I rarely see them have cotton lawns anymore, especially if your Joann doesn't carry Liberty fabrics. Mine does not. But they had their own little line of cotton lawn for a while. Haven't seen it in a while. But I snagged it up, and then I talked myself out of doing it for product shots. I don't know why. You know, just the mind does what it does. So I ended up finally sewing it together this last year, and I'm so glad I did. I ended up doing View B, but with the ruffle from View C. I think it could be really cute. For whatever reason, I think because it sat in a bag for 2 years, this neck got a little bit stretched out. And so as much as I love this blouse, it does gape just a little bit, whereas I've never had that problem with other Raida blouses. So either I stretched it when I was sewing it or something happened. And I actually don't even know if this is the final cut of the pattern. There was a lot of drafts of that. I think I went through like 9 or 10 versions before I landed on the final like draft, because it was my first pattern and I was picky. But I still love it, but I have to just like forget that this part is just kind of dropping forward. I'll see if I can link this fabric. I don't know if they still carry it. That being said, I love the photos I got in this blouse. I just have had a harder time wanting to wear it. I honestly don't know how I have a bazillion Raida blouses and not a single one is long sleeved. I have a lot of the long sleeved dress versions, but I think I like the long sleeved better. When people tag me in the long sleeve Raidas, I'm so jealous, and I just need to take the time to make one because I'm obsessed with them. But the top part of the Raida dress and the Raida blouse are exactly the same, so that's why I have both. Anyway, this one's a good one, but right here. Okay, this is one of my Rosamund blouses, which is, oh, by the way, I'm wearing a Rosamund blouse. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. This brown is brown linen. It is thrifted. I bought this when I lived in Texas. There was this amazing thrift store that I lived close to called The Caring Place, and they just got the best fabrics. I've never been to a thrift store before that actually had fabrics that were good, and they just had loads of it. And a few doors down the road, my neighbor was like in charge of the Caring Place. She had been like the director for many, many years, and she called me one day and said, hey, like, we have 2 shopping carts full of fabric. We don't want to sort through them. If you want to take them, you can take them for free. I was like, yes. So a lot of it ended up not being great stuff. A lot of it was like scraps, like cut up scraps. But I did find some gems. This was one of them. It's beautiful and I love it. And I've added these scallop details to right here in the sleeves. The only thing I wish I would have done different, because this is a lighter weight linen, I wish that I would have lined the collar. I don't know if I was running out of fabric or why I chose not to. You have the option in the pattern to line or to not line it. This one's lined, and I think it just adds a little bit extra structure because this one kind of tends to curl. One, because it's linen, which, you know, I don't mind too much, but I just think it would hold the collar shape just a little bit better. Yeah, anyway, I love it. This one is also linen. I think all of my Rosamund blouses with the collar are made of linen because I released it in the summer, so I wanted it to be breathable. This white fabric was my old bed sheet that got torn up from just wear and tear, and then the cuffs and the collar have a little bit of this linen jacquard from the Linen Lab, and it is stunning. I don't know why I didn't make the whole blouse out of it. I kind of wish I would have, because this is a old bed sheet. It has got a little wear and tear that wasn't there when I made it, but it's definitely a bit threadbare, so it's starting to get holes. So I'll probably either need to mend or eventually make a new white version. But anyway, I love this one. This was like my ride or die all summer, and I've been wearing this one all fall. Ooh, this one's fun. Okay, so this is that same fabric I was saying is from the Linen Lab. It's this jacquard. It is just so pretty. I don't know if you can get like all the details in here, but it is stunning. So I bought like 4 or 5 yards. When I first heard about them, I bought a bunch of fabric from them, and then I asked if I could be an affiliate, like have an affiliate link, and they graciously gave me one. And they also sent me a lot of other fabrics. So I'll try to label when stuff was gifted in the description. But I have been gifted a lot of fabric from the Linen Lab. We made a pattern together. But I only work with them because I love their fabric. Like, I love their fabric so much. They're also just wonderful. But anyway, this fabric is stunning. This is a pattern I am working on. I know there are patterns out there that are similar, but they either have more details or have just slightly different details. And I feel like there is a gap in the market specifically for just this simple, clean, nice blouse pattern. So it's just bias binding on here and here. This is the coolest bias binding. I found it at Harmony, a shop in Provo. That's where I went to college there. So I have a soft spot for that little place. I used to walk down with my oldest baby, and we would walk down and I'd look at all the trims, and they just have the prettiest stuff. So whenever I am up there, because I have family up there, I will drop by. So I bought this trim, and the buttons are from Salt Lake Society, and they're blue. I actually really love the blue and like the purple contrast, and I love wearing this with jeans. This I made at the very end of summer, and I've like been wishing it was summer so I could wear it more. The only thing I will change for the next pattern is I'll probably shorten the sleeves a little bit. But this is on my hopeful 2025 pattern releases because I love it. Oh, and right here I used, you can't see because it's kind of curling, but I did use a scallop stitch on the bottom to add in like the purple detailing. Okay, this is another Rosamund blouse, and I need to give her more limelight. I love the fabric of this blouse. I love that it's the no collar version. I love everything about it except for the color. I normally love pink and green and white, some of my favorite colors, but when I put it on, I don't feel me. I don't feel beautiful. I don't know. It's a beautiful blouse. I love the no collar version. I need to make more no collar versions. I just need to pick the right fabric because this has been, I think it's so pretty. And you know what it is? I think I like the fabric. I don't have like good bottoms to go with it. I feel like I need really cute shorts to go with it, and I don't have that. Anyway, this is on my, like, I need to figure out how to wear this because I love it. This fabric is a, what's it called? What is it called? It is called seersucker. It is a super lightweight cotton seersucker, and it is just floaty and dreamy, and I'm obsessed with it. I need to sew more with seersucker because I think I really, really like it. And this was a dream to sew with. It was crisp, but flowy all at the same time. And it's got so this is the View B of the Rosamund. It's got the modesty panel. I do have product shots of this. I think it's beautiful. Why don't I wear it? I don't know. Now I'm convincing myself. I think I really like it. I did choose to do the bow on here. It's honestly one of my the best like made blouses of the year for me. And I haven't worn it that much. So give me ideas if you have ideas on how I could wear this better, what I could match it with. I don't know why I'm having such a trouble with it. Oh, and the fabric is like 3 or 4 years old from Hobby Lobby. So shocked that I love it as much as I do, quality wise, because it's honestly super great quality. I don't usually shop at Hobby Lobby, but when I saw this, I loved it. And now it sits in my closet. So, oh, and the buttons are vintage. Those were my mom's. So they're really cute, little pink vintage. All right. This could use an iron, but this is another version of the Beth blouse that I ended up deciding not to go with. I had pin tucks added, and this one actually has a higher neck. So ultimately they are actually completely separate patterns because I drafted them 2 different ways to see if I liked one better than the other. And I tried so many times, this many times, to like it, which is a lot of time, and over the course of like 6 months, and it just wasn't working for me. It just didn't feel right. So this one is thrifted. No idea where this fabric came from. It's like a cotton, I think it's a cotton voile, but it's a little bit of a looser weave, and it's super light, beautiful, but it honestly is kind of clingy. So I don't wear this one as often because of that. Then I made it out of this really fun cotton linen dead stock that was from Harmony Provo. This is me trying different sleeve options with it, so you can see. This one I did just like a cuff. Did not like that. This one I did the shirred sleeve. And as much as I want to love this blouse, it once again has that blue that is a little bit more on the purpley side, and it just doesn't quite work with a lot of my pants. So I actually really like this blouse for the most part, but I kind of feel like a clown, even though I love this fabric and I dreamt about it. I don't know. It just, like, when I wear it, I don't feel like me. And then this one, I convinced myself that the color didn't look good, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, maybe I need to get over that. But what I really don't think I like was another sleeve option that I tried. Didn't love it, but this is the Beth without the collar. And it's actually also one of my like best made, prettiest blouses of the year, but I haven't been wearing it lately. I think it's just because of the sleeve. So I need to, oops. Sorry if that was making a rattle. My necklace was caught on my mic. But it is, I don't know. I need to try it on again, but I think it's really pretty. and it's a really classic, really pretty shape. If I do move forward with this version of the pattern, it would be named Briar, and it wouldn't have the buttons down the front. It would just have a keyhole and a different sleeve. So that's on my docket for 2025 of like deciding if I want to move forward with it, because I love, my favorite part of this blouse is that. This is a cotton twill from Eddie Bauer, bought at Joann. I don't think they sell it anymore. I think that they liquidated it last year. So I got this for a steal, like $2 a yard. I wish that I had realized what a gem it was before though, because it's a beautiful 100% cotton with a beautiful drape. So I have it in a, this is like a darker red, and then I have it in a brighter red still, and a teeny bit of blue, which actually is that like purpley blue color. So I might make a pair of shorts out of it to go with my last blouse. Okay, this is the mother of all t-shirts. Just kidding. Thanks, Fran. So this is my Maid Line tee, and it is made in a cotton, 100% cotton French terry. I wore this all summer, even though it is thicker. But what I love about this, sorry, it's got a crease right there, is it holds its shape so well. And to me, it just gives perfect white t-shirt vibes. I will link this fabric. I love IC Fabrics fabric. This is also an affiliate link, but I love it. I've tried their other fabrics. I did not like their, was it another terry? I'll pop it up on the screen. I didn't like it. I ordered it first and it had spandex in it, and I sent it back because I did not like it. So I ended up going with the 100% cotton, no spandex. I have heard though that if you get that and make it like as pants, this one, that it just doesn't have good recovery because there's no spandex. So it kind of bags out and sags out. So I would limit it to sweatshirts and t-shirts personally. So anyways, ooh, okay, this one's fun. This is my first Rosamund Blouse sample. So this was like, I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I do this. I drafted it first try and printed it out and made it. And luckily it worked almost perfectly, because sometimes that first toile does not turn out very well. And this fabric I had been hoarding for a few years. It was linen from Harmony. I love this one. I normally don't gravitate towards purple, but I really loved this one. It has the really beautiful bigger scallops. This one has like smaller scallops. My machine has 2 settings, so I think that this one is just gorgeous. The only thing I would change is I added a modesty panel on my other Rosamund blouses, and it's optional, but I mean, I wear a bra, I wear an undershirt, like you can just see through it. So that is always peeking through, but I still love it a lot. I actually love this in the summer and the winter. This looks great with black jeans, and then in the summer it was still really fun with my lighter wash jeans. So really like it. I think it was dead stock linen. Okay, and this was my first try at making the Rosamund without the collar, which is one of the view options. And I don't know what I was doing, but I added this weird contrasting cuff, and I'm missing a button. So I basically just need to go back. Oh, you know what it was? I was running out of fabric. So I ended up having to make it out of the inside's the pretty cuff color. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna flip that. I think I'm just gonna unpick this and re-sew on the cuff so it's just this color. And then I found the button last week, so I'm gonna re-sew on that. And then I think I'll wear this a lot more than I do, because I really love, like I said, I love the collarless Rosamund, but I've just made it out of the wrong fabrics. And so that's the only thing keeping me from wearing them more, because I think they're such good blouses. But I'll move on to sweatshirts. I did make 1 or 2 other sweatshirts, 2 other sweatshirts this year that are not going to be recorded. One is a almost carbon copy of this orange one I'm going to show you, and the other one was a rough draft for the Maid Line sweatshirt pattern that I didn't end up going with. I ended up going in a different direction. It ended up being very like 70s, so my sister has it because she loves that. So let me grab those. Okay, so this one was also a contender. I didn't end up going, so I have a copy of this, but it's in the final pattern. This is French terry and ribbing from Lyrical Fabrics. Hands down my favorite French terry for a sweatshirt that I've ever found anywhere. And it's super nice because they come with the matching ribbing, or you buy the matching ribbing, but you can get the exact same color, which is kind of hard to find. So Lyrical Fabrics, I don't have an affiliate link for that, but I will link this. This is the color Persimmon. I love this sweatshirt. The only differences between this and the final is that it's a little bit shorter, and this is the band I cut less wide. Where my brain isn't thinking how to say that. But anyways, it ends up creating like this bigger ruched effect. And because I wanted this to be a bigger, like a beginner pattern, I felt like that was going to make it a little bit harder. So I ended up making it a lot more subtle that it pulls in. Like I said, my intention with that was like really trying to make it more beginner friendly, whereas this required a lot of stretch from the ribbing. I wear this to bed almost every single night. I don't wear it out a lot because I've found that I don't super love the orange color on me or in my wardrobe, but as a sweatshirt to sleep in, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10. So my mom ended up getting the final version of this because I ended up having enough fabric to make it in the Maidline sweatshirt, like actual pattern. And so she has that. Because my dad's favorite color is orange. So little gift to them. Then I have this one. I need to make more of these sweatshirts. I just need to order more of that fabric. It's a little bit on the pricier side, and so that's why I haven't. But this was what I ended up using for all my product shots. And I ended up like grabbing it at 9 o'clock at night right before I needed to do it because this sweatshirt was giving me, let's just not talk about it. But anyway, this is the final pattern, and it is with like the Juicy Couture 100% cotton French terry velour with their matching ribbing, and I dislike it so much. It pills, even though it's cotton. I'm convinced it's not 100% cotton, even though that's what the label said. And it's like so sweaty, and the inside is like all sticky, and I don't like it. It also, no matter what I do, just like looks like it's pulling funny. You could just tell. It just has like weight to it, and it just holds nice, whereas this just like sticks to itself. I cannot recommend the fabric. It was not my ideal. Okay, this one though is my favorite of the three. So this is the Maidline sweatshirt pattern that I hacked, and I got this fabric from Harmony in Provo. I think they might still have it. I'll link it if they do. And it's a piqué knit, so it's really lightweight, but it has a good, like, it feels like it's got a little bit of structure to it. I like the drape on it. And what I did was I left the hem raw, so I didn't end up doing that bottom band, and I made one size larger. So I'm really glad I did that. I like it as an oversized sweatshirt. The original sweatshirt is a little bit, it's oversized, but it's not like huge. I would just say it's like, it fits. And that was on purpose, but I think I'm personally gravitating more towards oversized sweatshirts. I just want to be comfy. I've loved wearing this with skirts, with shirts. Anyway, I've had it for 2 weeks, and it's probably one of my most worn items at the moment. So anyway, that one's a winner for me. Stay hydrated. All right, let's move on to bottoms. So we'll start with pants. I think that pants are my most lacking category in my Me Maids, and I want to change that. One thing that is not pictured, or I don't have here, but I will pop a picture up in here, it was the first pair of pants I made this year, is a hack to my my Jordan overalls. My Jordan overall trousers just don't get any love, and I think that's 100% my fault. But I almost feel like I need to release it as a separate pattern, because I think people who aren't into overalls just forget that View C is just the trousers, and the trousers are great. But I did hack it to do like that viral bow side tie split, you can see here, and I just did that out of thrifted gingham. I'm sure it was from like Joann or Hobby Lobby. I love them, except for I wish that I had done more of like a trouser look with that, and then I would have done this side tie hack with my Maidline pants. I think it would have just fit better. So I ended up giving those away because I did not end up wearing them as much as I wanted, because it had that faux front and the elastic back, and it just felt like a little too Western for me, and like less Scandinavian chic. So that being said, I don't have those anymore, but I do have these ones. These are the backwards. And I love these pants. I wore them all summer. I think I kind of wore them to death. This is a linen from Icy Fabric, and it's a little bit, it's light. It's not super heavy at all. And because of that, you know, pants get a lot of wear. So they have started to kind of get little holes in the crotch and the inseam. So I think that's just because the fabric is lighter weight. So I would recommend this fabric if you want to just know that you might have to mend them. But I've also wore them probably 30, 40 times before that happened, because I wore them all summer. Like, these are just amazing. The color is strawberry, and I'll link it if I can find it. I don't know if they have it in stock right now. But these Maidline pants are just my favorite pair of pants I made all year. I love them so much. I think I can mend all of this because it's just, you can see right here, it's not tearing the fabric, it's tearing at the seam. So I think I can fix all of that, but I haven't been able to wear them lately. This one is another really fun one. This reminds me of my childhood because this is fabric from my childhood. This is a denim. Really fun. It's got navy, green, and this like maroonish color. And these Maidline pants are amazing. Hard to find matching shirts to go with it, but I love these pants. So this is my Maidline pants pattern. And I actually feel like the Maidline pants like really sings in this denim. It just like holds really good structure. These pants are once again really made for beginners. Like the Maidline collection was just straight up for beginners. Like you could, if you're an advanced sewist, great. Like you'll still love it because they're basic patterns and they're great basic patterns, but they are made with as many straight lines as possible. These patterns are just made with as easy and simple construction methods as possible so you can get the basics. But I love how these turned out. Like they're basics, but they're fun. Like they're not just, I don't know. I love them. So they're really, really, really fun. And because it's straight lines on the side seams and for the most of the inseam, not all the way, but mostly, it made the stripes really work without looking funky. So that was vintage denim. This is thrifted denim, and this is the one pattern that I was finally able to sew. That was not mine. I actually got to test this for Vivian Xiao Chen. I need to take really good photos of this. The back, look at those. It's so cute. These are trouser pattern that I made into jeans, and I really, really love them. I will say, I'm sure I really love them, but they're definitely a vibe. And they definitely sing in like linen and wool suiting. But anyway, so I really love this. Yep, we still got battery. Okay. So anyway, there is those. So those are my pants. So those are only like 4 or 5 pairs of pants, but I made other ones when I was testing Maidline, and they ended up going to my sister, my mom, and my sister-in-law. So there were 3 more pairs of pants there, and I'll show those right here. So one of them was made out of cotton. It was a Liberty print, but bought it from like fabric.com when that existed years ago. It was the Piccadilly Liberty print. So cute, and it just sat in my closet for years, and my sister-in-law saw it. Yeah. And she saw it, and she was like, I want that. So I made those for her. Love those. And then my mom's version is out of a silk linen tencel blend, and that was gifted to me by the Linen Lab. I love her pants so much. I'm so glad she has them, but I want a pair. They're beautiful. And then my little sister, I say little, but she's taller than me. I made hers out of a linen. They have a little bit of poly in them. That's the one thing I don't love about that fabric, but I love how it looks, fabric. And that was also gifted by the Linen Lab, and it's in this really pretty brownish grayish like plaid fabric. I still have some left over, and I'm tempted to make myself a pair because I think I love the Maidline pants that they look kind of like a trouser when they can look like kind of like a trouser, or just like they can go from pajama pants to trouser depending on the fabric you're going with. So I want a pair of those for next summer or even winter and fall. Like they're so cute. So she has those. Okay, and then let's move on to shorts. So the first pair of shorts I want to talk about was a hack. I obviously made it out of the same linen, and I love this little outfit together. These are my Maidline shorts, and I added a scalloped ruffle to the bottom. I love them so much, but because of the ruffle, I shortened them a little bit, and I think I went just like an inch too far, so they feel too short for me. Somebody else might like them that short. I would like just like another inch length because it keeps me from wearing them. What I did do too is I didn't add the pockets. I just wanted them to be, you know, seamless. So if you ever wanted to do that same thing, you would just basically, you could just omit the pockets, or you could even tape the side seams of the front and the back together and then cut them all out as one piece. I need to show a whole video on how to do that because it's really simple, and it just, you know, you get really simple shorts. But anyway, I love these. I think they turned out really, really, really cute, other than just being a little too short. I use these ones quite a bit this summer, and I really should iron these ones for you guys. But this is more of a mid-weight linen twill. I love this fabric, and I bought it at Salt Lake Society, and it was a little bit more pricey, and so it sat in my stash for a really long time because I was scared to use it. I originally bought it to make bisque trousers by Vivian Chow Chen, but I was a little short on fabric for it. I kind of wish I would have saved it for like a cargo jacket or a jacket of some sort, because although it's super, super cute, because it's a heavier weight for shorts, it just like, it works, but I think there's better fabrics. But either way, I do really like these, and I wear them a lot in the summer, but it does make the waistband a little bit bulkier. Still like them, but I don't know. I'd give them a B+. Now, this fabric I think really, really, really sings for these shorts. Like, I should have made every single pair out of just like cotton like this. This is a kind of a cotton lawn by Georgie over at Hey So Sister. She's amazing. She's been designing some really, really fun prints, and they came with these cute little labels. So this is the Viola. If you haven't seen this fabric this year, like, where have you been? Because I feel like this fabric is the fabric of the year. Georgie kindly sent this over to me. It was in collaboration with Pigeon Wishes. I still have some left because I originally was planning on making something else. So you'll be seeing this fabric again, but it is so fun. But it gives that boxer short vibe that I was going for when I designed this pattern. But this is the Maidline shorts. Once again, straight sides, really like so beginner friendly. I love it. This was my first version, and I made the elastic a bit too small. This is like a linen. Still love these, but the elastic that I use keeps bunching up. So I just need to replace the elastic because they drive me a little nuts when wearing them. But they're really great for summer. I don't know where that linen came from. It might actually be from Mood. I don't know. I've had it for years and years and years, and that was all I had left, so I turned it into the shorts. I'll link it if I can find it. But I do like those shorts. They were my first draft, and there were some changes, though. Okay, we have, I should have added this into sweaters, but I have 2 cardigans that I made, and of course, they're both red. I really wanted a red knitted cardigan from Christy Dawn this year, but I couldn't justify the price. So instead, I decided to learn how to knit, which is costing almost as much. But I also sewed a couple red cardigans to get my quick fix. Why is it that if we know how to make stuff, we can't buy it? You know? That's okay. So this is my Rodger cardigan. It ties up in the front, and this is like a vintage, I think it might be wool. And I had just a teeny bit of it in my stash from that thrift store I talked about. This is my favorite color of red in my wardrobe. I feel like it suits me. I really love how this cardigan turned out. I've called it the Rodger cardigan and plan on releasing it at some point. But I really love how this turned out. The only thing I would change is the neck was just a little bit too high when you tie it closed. I like it, but I had people say they didn't. So, you know. This is my Maidline sweatshirt that I had made into just like a sweat. I ended up making I did record this whole process, and hopefully we'll get around to making a YouTube tutorial for this because this cardigan is really great. I had these little brown buttons. This is fabric from Joann. This is just their standard cotton not rib knit, just knit. And it's really great. I wish that it had a little more structure to it. Can you tell I like knits with structure? But other than that, I really like it. Okay, let's move on to skirts. Okay, these ones are fun. These ones I have been calling, let me tie the bow. I have been calling the Isla Skirt, and they are reminiscent of another pattern that I worked on this last year but haven't finished, called Hadley. And what I was really looking for in these patterns was this like scalloped detail that wasn't just scallops on the edge, but scallop detail in the skirt. And so there is this really beautiful down, up, and I really wanted like a ballerina version. So I made this pink one, and I really love how it turned out. The bows are a little bit hefty, and so unless it's ironed really good that day, it takes a little bit, you know, I gotta really like go for it. But I really love how this skirt turned out, and it looks the same on the back, but it's really, really fun. It has a big, thick hem, and when I say thick, I mean deep. It's like 3 inches, and it just holds really, really well. This fabric is actually a bed sheet that I found at an estate sale, and it was a great toile fabric. Yeah, but it definitely is a little bit of a bed sheet. So there's that one, and then this one was my first sample of that, and I made it out of like a canvas. I don't know why I used a canvas. I think it was just that I had enough fabric. And I ended up doing this one a little bit more full, and I added this top stitching detail to the front like my Zamora skirt. I didn't like it on here, so I ended up switching it for the other one. So this was thrifted, but ultimately not quite the shape I was going for. I think the pink one is much more the shape I wanted. Undecided if I will move forward with that pattern. Let me know if I should change my mind. Another skirt. Okay. Oh, I did make two patterns from other people. If you've ever seen So Small September, you'll know that I am friends with Nat from Neighborhood Patterns. We became friends because of the sewing community, and she's just a wonderful person and also an incredible pattern designer. This was her pattern that she released this year called the Plain Jane. I made it out of a white cotton bed sheet, and I didn't do some of the top stitching details up here, and I made this hem just a bit wider. I love this skirt. I wore it a lot this summer, and this pattern is just, I wish I had made this pattern because it's so good. It is simple, but it has French seam pockets inside of it, and she did a really great job explaining a lot of this information. Nat is just so thoughtful in how she makes patterns. And I can't say enough good about it. So I don't know how the Plain Jane isn't like the new It Girl summer skirt or skirt, because it should be. It's really good. You should definitely try it out. And I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with her. I promise. Like, I really like that skirt. I need to make multiple more. It's really, really good. Okay. Last skirt. This one I made during our Christmas break, and it is a Zamora skirt hack. I removed the pin tucks right here, and I also removed the little pin tucks up here and added just a teeny bit of length right here. I wish I would have removed a little length here. This is a 100% linen from the Linen Lab, and it is the prettiest drape. I would order this fabric. I think they have it in a couple colorways. I would order this fabric again in a heartbeat. It was gifted, but I would pay for it, like full price. It's so good. And it's already really inexpensive. This one was kind of, the Zamora skirt in general has leanings towards the Doe and Sebastian skirt. That was one of my inspo picks. That, along with like, there's a Christy Dawn skirt. And then, I don't know if any of you know who Rosie Londoner is. I don't think she posts anymore, but she was an influencer. and she had spent some time in France, and she like took a picture in her stories one time of these gorgeous French provincial vintage white skirts. And it was just like a clothing rack that she took a picture of while she was in Provence. And I fell in love, and it just like locked it in for me. And so shortly after, I took kind of inspo from all three of those, and I turned what is now the Zamora Skirt. And but I've always really loved Doan. Came out this year with the gingham version, and it's a lot more simple without the tucks and stuff. So it has just a couple of tucks. So I wanted to kind of replicate that because I really liked that version. I'm really liking wearing that one. Now on to those dress skirts. I think I made 4 skirts this year. I wear skirts a lot. I never thought I was a skirt person, but I was nursing for most of this year, and so dresses were kind of hard. And I've just kind of really come to love that I can dress up or dress down skirts. My Zamora skirt obviously is a favorite. I love it, but those other skirts have been really fun. Okay, I have one jumpsuit that I made. This is a potential pattern. I didn't see a lot of interest in it when I posted about it, and I don't know if it's because I color blocked it or if people just aren't interested in the design. So it may just be a personal project, but let me know if I should change my mind on this, because I do think I really like it. The original design has long sleeves. I'll pop up the technical sketch that I designed, but I ran out of fabric, and because it was a toile, I was more worried about if the bodice was going to fit and if the pants were going to fit. And anyway, I don't know if this would happen this year, but it's a design I've been thinking about for a while, so I would like to bring it in at some point. And I guess I should show you. I'll show you. Okay. Ooh. This also could not, like, it could be denim. I should have done that. But basically these are like pockets up here. And this is like the bodice piece with a pocket on top. And then it has all these buttons going down the front. And then it has pockets here, a little strap right here if you have a hammer, and another little side pocket. It's very much a utility piece. And like I said, this was supposed to have long sleeves, but I ran out of fabric, and I just wanted to try it in a sturdy fabric. I love this jumpsuit. In fact, when I first made it, like a salesperson came to my door and was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." I was like, "Thanks, I made it." And he thought it was from Free People, because apparently his wife really likes Free People. So I felt like that was a compliment. But anyway, I really love this. And so let me know what you guys think, if I should continue working on this jumpsuit. I love how it fits specifically. All right, moving on to the dress/pinafore section. Because I released the Ginkgo Pinafore, I made 3 pinafores. This is I actually made it so this is like the primary neckline in the front, where it's square in the front. This is linen from the Linen Lab. This is their Ginkgo fabric, which is what we named the Ginkgo Pinafore after. And it is beautiful. It is this natural linen with the yellow on top. And it just, I don't know, it just is so pretty. I wish I had made this a little bit more in the fall, although it's still beautiful for every season. But I think this fabric would really shine in the fall. And I really love how this turned out. I did shorten it 4 or 5 inches, 100% on accident. I was making the video tutorial for this while I made it. And long story short, all the audio got messed up and half of the video deleted itself. So I don't have the video up yet because of that. So I need to re-record. But while I was doing that, I made a couple of mistakes, because recording at the same time as sewing is another skill. This was my green Ginkgo Pinafore, and this is also Linen Lab fabric. I'll link below. It's so pretty. This is more of a lightweight fabric, and it would be perfect for blouses and dresses. I love it. This is my favorite color of green. I did double V-neck on this one, and I just really love how this turned out. But this one is my favorite. I clearly am crushing on brown lately, but this was my original Ginkgo. This is a mid-weight linen, and I've seen some people say like mid-weight might be a little bit too much. For me, I really like the mid-weight for the Ginkgo. It is a bit heavy, and you have to keep that in mind too, depending on what size you are or what you're looking for. But because the Ginkgo is a wrap style pinafore, I feel like the weight kind of keeps the skirt together a little bit more. Not that I've had like a lot of accidents with the other ones. Those ones are great. Also, it's colder right now. So I've been really loving this mid-weight linen. I say that I made 3 Ginkgo Pinafores, but I made this one about 5 times to get the bodice perfect. This one I used as a toile, and then I ended up recutting the same piece multiple times, unpicking, and then I ended up finally getting the fit right, and I had a little extra fabric, so I remade the bodice. Anyway, this one is the most gorgeous linen from the Linen Lab. I love it. Okay, last 2. These are actual dresses. The only 2 actual dresses I made all year. But this fabric is silk. I'm going to say maca, but that's wrong. That's the lentils I buy at Costco. I'll put it in what it is. It was kindly gifted by Fabric Wholesale Direct. They sent it to me for a little collaboration I did with them. This fabric is so cool. It's 100% silk. It's black and green and emerald, and it's a mid-weight, but it's surprisingly light. So it's worked really well in the summer, and it also feels like it works well in the winter because it almost feels like a tweed. I don't know. It's really cool. Like, really, really cool. A bit pricier. They gifted it to me, but like, it's worth it. It's so cool. And this is the Hadley style dress that once again has that, you can't see it super good on here, but it goes down, up, down, and then also it starts on like the side seam and swoops down in the front and swoops up in the back. This is on my list for 2025. I love this dress, and I can't wait to show you guys more. I have another neckline in store for those of you that don't like high necklines that I also think is going to be stunning. And I just am really excited by it because I feel like I've never seen a dress out there like it before, and it just feels really me. So I'm really excited. This was the first draft of it, and this was just made out of cotton from Joann. Like I said, I don't like making toiles out of muslin because I can't wear them, and I am a really big believer in not making stuff I can't wear. And also, what's the point of making a muslin that you can't wear and see how it feels and fits? I know there's some benefits, but like, if I can't wear it around for 2 weeks before deciding if the pattern is worth it, then I'm not really testing it out. That's what I do with all my patterns. So, oh, I almost forgot. I made 3 bags this year, and I'll just show you one of them. I'll show you a picture right here. I made 2 for my daughters and 1 for me. I made another pattern from another designer. This is from Georgie from Hey So Georgie. She has come out with a couple of patterns. I want to make her haymaker hood at some point, but this Flutterby bag is just the cutest thing. Let me show you. It's got wipes in it, but this is the cutest little bag ever. I made it out of that silk linen maca and black denim. And although I probably could have used a little bit of a heavier weight because it does flap when it's on my body, it looks really cute. I just love this. It doesn't hold much, so like I can get wipes and a diaper in there. But if you don't have children, it's probably great. It's so cute. My girls love theirs. It was a really easy and fun project. I even made a little reel about it. And it of course went viral because it wasn't my pattern, but about using pinking shears on all the curved edges. And yeah, anyway. Okay, so final thoughts. That was a lot of sewing. I mean, it took me a long time to just even talk about all of it. It took a long time to sew all of that. And so once again, reminder, I do this for my job. 2, I was really lucky and had a lot of fabric gifted to me this year. I don't take that for granted. I sewed primarily on thrifted fabrics for years because sewing can be expensive. That being said, when I'm recommending these fabrics, like I wholeheartedly recommend them. At some point, I plan on making another video about my favorite places to shop for fabrics and other places that I know are reputable and very good. because there's so many more out there that I haven't tried that I want to, and I know are fantastic based on what I can see from photos from other people and from my friends who also are in the sewing community. But yeah, there was a lot of pattern development this last year. I released 6 patterns, so that obviously took up a lot of my sewing bandwidth, but I also designed a ton of patterns that I hope to come out this year. I spent the first 3 months of the year just designing, and it was wonderful. So I plan to spend a little bit of time at the beginning of this year trying out a few more designs and honing in what I plan on releasing this year. Like I said, I'm releasing Beth and most likely Hadley and a few others. So I can't wait to share throughout the year a little bit better, hopefully on here, what I'm making while I'm making it. And I hope that you will hit subscribe and follow along because I have so much more to share. I have so many more ideas, and I'm just so grateful for this craft and all that it's done for me as a job and also just as a hobby. So yeah, anyway, I hope that you are having a good start to your 2025.